Good evening, I am Ylva, and this is Wyckoff Library's first chapter Friday, 8th reading. I'm going to read the first chapter of The Last Train to London by Meg Waite Clayton. This is the historical fiction based on a real Dutch woman's life. Her name was Gertruda Wiesmuller. The children called her Tante Truus, as she valiantly tries to save Jewish children from Nazi-occupied Austria and Germany in 1939. It is the story of what would become known as the Kindertransport of rescued children to England. Let me open it to chapter 1. At the border. Stout flakes softened the view out the train window. A snow-covered castle on a snow-covered hill, ghosting up through the snowy air. The conductor calling, "Bad Bentheim, this is Bad Bentheim, Germany." Passengers continuing to the Netherlands must provide documents. Gertruda Wiesmuller, a Dutch woman with a strong chin and nose and brow, a wide mouth, cashmere gray eyes, kissed the baby on her lap. She kissed him a second time, her lips lingering on his smooth forehead. She handed him to his sister then and pulled the skull cap off their toddler brother. "Ist es in Ordnung? Es wird nicht lange dauern. Dann Gott wird dir diese eine Mal vergeben." Truce responded to the children's objection in their own language. "It's all right. It will be only for a few moments. Your God will forgive us this once." As the train heaved to a stop, the little boy leapt to the window, shouting, "Mama!" Truce gentled his hair as she followed his gaze out the snow-dirty glass to see Germans in orderly lines on the platform despite the storm. A porter with a loaded luggage cart, a stooped man in a sandwich board advertising a tailor. Yes, there was the woman who the child saw, a slim woman in a dark coat and scarf, standing at the sausage vendor, her back to the train as the boy again called her, "Ma!" The woman turned, idly taking a greasy bite of sausage as she gazed up at the split flatboard. The boy crumpled. Not his mother, of course. Truce pulled the child to her, whispering, There, unable to make promises that could not be kept. The carriage door opened with a startling clatter and hiss. A Nazi border guard on the platform reached up to help a debarking passenger, a pregnant German who accepted his help with a gloved hand. Truce unfastened the pearl buttons on her own yellow leather day gloves and loosened the scalloped cuffs with their delicate black accents. She pulled the gloves off, the leather catching on a ruby solitaire nestled with two other rings, as with hands just beginning to freckle and crepe, she wiped away the boy's tears. She tidied the children's hair and clothes, addressing each again by name, but working quickly, keeping an eye on the dwindling line of passengers. "All right now," she said, wiping the drool from the baby's mouth as the last passengers disembarked. "Go wash your hands, just as we practiced." Already the Nazi border guard was mounting the stairs. "Go on, go quickly now, but take your time washing up," Truce said calmly. To the girl she said, "Keep your brothers in the lavatory, sweetheart." "Until you put back on your gloves, Tante Truce," the girl said. It was necessary that Truce not seem to be hiding the children. Yet nor did she want them too close for this negotiation. So we fixed our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, she thought, unconsciously putting the ruby to her lips like a kiss. She opened her pocketbook, a more delicate thing than she would have carried had she known she'd be returning to Amsterdam with 3 children in tow. She fumbled inside it, removing her rings, as the children, now behind her, traipsed away down the aisle. Ahead, the border guard appeared. He was a young man, but not so young that he might not be married, might not have children of his own. "Visas? You have visas to leave Germany?" he demanded of Truce, the sole adult remaining in the carriage. Truce continued rooting in her bag as if to extract the required papers. "Children can be such a handful, can't they?" she replied, as she fingered her single Dutch passport, still in the handbag. "You have children, officer?" The guard offered an unsanctioned hint of a smile. "My wife. She's expecting our first child, perhaps on Christmas Day." "Oh, how fortunate for you," Truce said, smiling at her own good fortune as the guard glanced towards the sound of water running in a sink, the children chattering as sweetly as bramble finches. She let the thought sit with him. He would soon have a baby, not unlike little Alexei, who would grow up into a child like Israel or dear, dear Sarah. Truce fingered the ruby, sparkling and warm, on the lone ring she now wore. "You have something special for your wife, to mark the occasion, I'm sure." "Something special?" the Nazi repeated, returning his attention to her. "Something beautiful to wear every day, to remember a most special moment." She removed the ring, saying, "My father gave this to my mother the day I was born." Her pale, steady fingers offered the ruby ring, along with her single passport. He eyed the ring skeptically, then took the passport alone, examined it, and glanced again to the back of the carriage. "These are your children?" Dutch children could be included on their parents' passports, but hers listed none. She turned the ruby to catch the light, saying, "They are more precious than anything, children." So ends chapter 1, and if you found the first chapter interesting, you can download the book from Libby or Hoopla. Have a good evening.